Alright, we are recording. Continuing Titan Quest 2. Boy, am I gonna look at... I'm very much looking forward to this. It has been a busy week, and I like that I'm just gonna be able to pound on monsters in this. That I am just having fun. I'm not having to be critical, just enjoying myself. That on? Is this... Yes, it's still blocked. There's one thing, though, I do want to show you. Because of the other save. My brain just turned off a little bit. I haven't really put anything in the notes. Really, I just... Oh, no, it's up here. Really, this I want to show you. And I guess it would be the, crap. The Framework 16 news. Okay. So, mainly I want to talk about these two things. Because I experimented with these in the other save because I beat the game. What do? It's like, what do? Increase or decrease difficulty. So if you do this, that allows you to apply an offset. So we'll push the level. So if normally you would expect an enemy to be at level 10, you can make it level 11, 12, 13, all the way up to 15 plus 5. I think you can also do minus 5. This, however, is more so like if you're trying to do a new game plus kind of experience. This is what you want, where it just resets their level to match yours. Curiously, now I haven't gotten too far. I did both those because I didn't understand what the difference was. I did both those on the other things, so I ended up at level 22 facing off against level 27 because it had the plus 5, and I reset everything to 22. They have not been continuing to level up, however. It has just been me going around doing this, so and fighting at that level. So yeah. What is this? Ah, okay. Well, that's better. So I just saw an email. I wanted to figure out what that was. I think that was me. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, so the Framework 16, which I have one of the original, in fact, first batch of them even. That's what I'm currently using. And it has the Ryzen 9 7940HS, which was the more expensive of the CPUs available when it could first be ordered. And I did get the discrete GPU, which is the Radeon RX 7700S. Okay. Well, this past week, Framework announced CPU upgrades, which I could buy. Well, they won't ship until at the earliest November, but it's already December. 4 batches, I think, when I looked yesterday.
Another Ichthyan smoke signal. They're coming for the elevator. Cover the warrior beside you. Beat the monsters back.
But so now the CPUs have been... There's an upgraded CPU option that uses the Ryzen 300 AI 300.
For now. Ares, give me strength.
Something like that, anyway.
You're one of Ryzen's recruits. Their scouts send smoke signals when the elevator lowers. Then they try to I sent soldiers to put an end to it. Good. Rendezvous with the others at Lookout's Farm.
Sorry, I want to play, and I already know the stuff. And it's basically just... I mean, you can pause, and as I said, if you use comma and period, you can frame by frame on YouTube. But, oh, that's right. I need to check on something that hopefully will actually be here. Hang on, I need to deal with the turtle. Okay. I currently am doing 29. Okay. I am curious if your damage increases just as you level up, or if there is a need to still upgrade the attack ability. I do want to check on that. But anyway, yeah, new CPU, but also, and this I think a lot of people have been looking forward to, because, well, I should explain. Framework framework itself tries to make their systems, which primarily laptops, they do also have their desktop that isn't a perfect example of this. But they try to make them modular. So I can, in fact, it would have to be the whole main board, so whole main motherboard in the laptop, but I can upgrade even the CPU if I wanted to. RAM, of course, I can upgrade, and also because of the expansion bay system that they use, I can upgrade the GPU, the discrete GPU as well. Okay. And basically there is almost every component I can upgrade. I can, in theory, even if the screen were to break, I can actually replace that. Keyboard can be replaced. That's actually fairly easy. Things like that. Okay. Well, it originally released in 2023, so it's been a couple years, and finally, they are offering an NVIDIA discrete GPU, specifically the 5070, the RTX 5070, which obviously will be the mobile version. Oh, yeah, the repository is just because the Commander Medallion, which I don't remember how many it is I need of those, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm certain that there are a lot of people that are very happy to see the 5070 offered, because I even remember when seeing the initial offering, there were a lot of people that were like, oh yeah, I'd love it, I'd definitely buy this, except I want NVIDIA. Personally, I am more than happy with keeping with AMD, because I do like things like Radeon Chill. And it's also, I know this is not what some people have experienced, but the only significant driver issues I've ever had were with NVIDIA GPUs, NVIDIA drivers, not AMD, so. Now, I will also admit that has been many years, but it's still, that was very frustrating to have my graphics card locked to its 2D clock, which right there actually exposes how old the thing is. The issue was. Partly it was because I was running 2 GPUs at the time that were different generations, but it still is. This is something you're supposed to be able to do because it's, hey, offload the physics to the other GPU. Tried doing that, and no. But then I also discovered later, with, I think that was when I moved from the 5070 to the 77, no, to the 770, that the performance was just better if you left physics on the same GPU, that the difference between those was so significant that, yeah, you were better off just having it all on the same GPU. But yeah, so anyway, that is neat. And also I should mention that it's 2, I don't remember their names, but 2 of the new AMD CPUs, bit better designed for AI stuff than the 7040 series, which does have some AI capabilities, just not as great as what you can have today. But it does also, one of them, the higher end one, actually allows for 12 cores, which is 24 threads, in a CPU. So that, in a mobile CPU. So that's neat. And remember, because this is AMD instead of Intel, those are full cores, right? They're not big and little. No, they are full-sized, fully featured cores. So don't get me wrong, there are reasons and advantages to what Intel is doing, but it's still, that is a difference that should be acknowledged between the two. And it will not surprise me if at some point they do get sorry, my brain is just turning up a little bit. If they do get Intel CPUs offered for the Framework 16 at some point. But it is reasonable to me that is not a high priority. They got the partnership with AMD, that is working. And I can also believe that for a lot of people, no, they wanted the NVIDIA GPUs more. So if they were going to prioritize something, that's what it would have been. And also one thing that is worth noting, so it's been a couple years, but as I recall, one of the things that the Framework 16 was the first to do is it supports the USB-C power delivery spec for up to 240 watts of input power, right? Now, at the time, there was nothing that offered 240 watts in. It came with a 180 watt adapter, though. So it's like, right now it is plugged in, it is pulling potentially 180 watts, right? Okay. They are happy now. I've done that. So there's two different missions that I'm doing right now, by the way. One is that, put that in there. Beast from which Hermes crafted the first lyre and sacrificed before the altar, spilling its blood on this ground. Okay? So it's find the right creature, and I do know what it is. It actually confused me initially when I first did this, but we'll get to that. Yeah, so I can do that easily. But I do want to come over here. Talk to this thing.
Kill noisy fish. Good. Nice heart. Made us angry. Couldn't think. We attacked ya. Man creature friend. Not good. Feel shame. Friend. Name Otis. He live in Mantown.
And we did talk to him in the previous video, previous recording. But.
You know Otis. Give him this. Shiny stone. Means friendship. Means sorry. We thank. We go now. In peace.
Yep. That one. But yeah, so Framework has managed to design a 240 watt power adapter now, and so we may actually. Okay, let me go over and do that. And so that will become the default adapter shipping with it, and also would be able to buy it separately. Yeah, so in here we get what it is that the thing actually is looking, the myth of Hermes, which I did not completely remember correctly. He was looking for a turtle. Okay. Nope, that did not change. Okay. So, in the myth, it talks about the first day of his fine existence was to find and slay a turtle, crafting the very first lyre from its strong shell. See, I remember the second part of it, which is he then stole 50 sacred cattle belonging to Apollo, and used their... Okay, so this is not all of it, but he also used the innards of them to make the strings for his lyre. And that's actually how he got out of Apollo beating the crap out of him. Because he then, with the lyre, played the music, played music that Apollo so enjoyed, he spared his new brother's life. That is a worthy upgrade there. Okay. So I was remembering that portion, trying to figure out where the hell do I get cattle? Then I looked up, oh, no, turtle. I see now. Okay, yeah. Did not remember that portion of it, but you've got a number of places around the shrine here that are turtle eggs. So you'll find turtles nearby. So yeah, I think I kept getting distracted. The Frame 16, a 240 watt adapter will be the default. They might be the first to offer that, which also means that the whole laptop, even with the new GPU, should only end up pulling about 240 watts, even at load, which would mean you would be able to pull. Hang on, just full head front lights. Okay. You'd be able to pull enough power to run the laptop at load just off of the wall. You would not need it to have it drained from the battery, which is possible. Like technically, they can. Well, no, I don't think that the my configuration would actually pull over 180 watts. So here's Otis.
Dealing with the Minions. They do remember me. This can hardly blame the batty buggers for being in a foul mood if it was the fishmen's fault. Poor critters. Just because they're monsters doesn't mean they're monsters. You know?
There. Oh wait, no. Wait, didn't I level up? I thought I did. No, I guess not. I was just shy. Okay, then that doesn't mean anything just yet. But anyway. Oh yeah, this also just one point that this it's like yeah. They really need to shortcut this stuff. So it's like, yes, I'm here to trade. Just give me straight to that. Sell all would also be nice, especially if you can mark some. No, don't sell these. But yeah. Anyway. Anything? I think so. But yeah, so that is neat. That is neat. I kind of wish I had known that. Well, known that they would be offering that sooner, but it's not that big a deal. Just I did actually a few months ago now. Purchase a second power adapter for it, so that I've got one that sits on my desk, that's what's plugged into now and is what's normally plugged into, but another that's in my bag, so that way I don't need to move cables around or the actual power brick around. It's just always there. It would have been nice if I could have had that as the 240 though, but you know, is what it is. And it's also, would I upgrade the laptop? I don't think so. For one thing, I just don't want to have to deal with, like, as far as the CPU is concerned, I don't want to have to deal with getting that taken care of. That, you know, how Windows would be impacted by that if I move the drive over. Okay, so that still says just 29. Alright. I'll be honest, I don't know what it refers to as barrier, if that's supposed to be this. I guess so, but there's also times that an energy barrier is referred to, so, I don't know. I still got no idea what the projectile homing is. See, this is one thing that is definitely a significant criticism that I do have of this game, is like, +3 max shield, +3 max shot. What does this actually refer to? I don't know, and it's not like it really tells you anywhere. It's an exhaust skill. Active non-channel skill. That's actually kind of neat. Okay, that's actually really neat, because 12 meters, I'm pretty sure, is pretty big. I mean, hey, okay, yeah, so this aura is 18 meters. So it's 50% larger than what this is referring to, but that's basically covering the entire screen. So this would still cover a good portion of the screen. Holy crap, that's very powerful. Oh no, dodge cooldown. Well, that's still nice. Healthy generation. See that? Oh, man. There's actually some nice ones in there. I am thinking I will just hang on to the passive points for the time being. I know how powerful this really can be, so... I'm pretty sure this is... Yeah, to strike damage, which I don't know... Well, yeah, that... I don't know how that works necessarily with this, but... You know, doing that... Oh, man. I mean, just the extra lightning... The explosion stuff with the fire damage is devastating. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I will get... how many more will I need? 50. I need 3 more. So if I can get 3 more levels, then I know I will hit the point of being able to get that... Start using some passives. And you can just store them up, it seems. At least for these you can. Okay. Let's try and think if there's anything else. Nothing really coming to mind. Already mentioned the 50-70 stuff, which... I mean, don't get me wrong, I get why people would like that, but I'm happy where I am. I like Radeon Chill. Even though it's not really being applied right here, because this is actually pushing the GPU enough to not really hit that range, but there's other things where that does work. I much prefer the... Although, granted, I haven't updated the drivers for a long time, haven't needed to. But I do also like the driver interface better, so I mean, it's... I am happy enough with where I am, and I don't need to spend the money. That's like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother with the upgrade. It would be the 240 power brick that'd be the most interesting. But I am glad to see this, because it was weird to me that it had been so long, and there hadn't been a new thing offered. So, yeah. One thing I guess I can also mention, because it does relate to the AI CPU, there is one thing about such a CPU that does interest me somewhat, because I have played around with some image generation, not too much. It's basically I only need the image generation when I'm like working on cover art for a book. But there is one other thing that I wouldn't mind using AI to do, and that would actually be if I could train something to impersonate my voice, train a voice model, and then have that do audiobooks of my stuff, that I'd be tempted to do. Now, what I've got probably can do it. It just maybe wouldn't do it as quickly. Which is not like that's a big deal. But it does also remind me, I did see some stuff that apparently Amazon is going to start allowing authors like me in their KDP program to say, hey, I want Amazon to generate all that, but it's from select voices. It's like, I just kind of prefer it be mine. As much as I dislike the sound of my own voice, it's still, hey, let's keep that consistent. Just save me some time. And also that way, in theory, I could go in and make changes myself. It's like, oh, I really, like, there should be an inflection here that's not reproducing. I'll go in and do that myself. In theory, that would be achievable, I would think. But either way, it's still, one thing that I'd seen is apparently the Audible, from what I have seen people talk about, is apparently one of the most evil things Amazon has done. And Amazon does various evil things. But it's just the way that it's set up basically ensures that very, very few people would ever actually make money from it. And there's also ways that somebody can, like, get the audiobook, listen to it, then return it. And that not only means an author doesn't get the money, but can even be they try to claw back the money. Yeah, that's definitely okay, this is just evil. And to explain that, I don't think that's enough to warrant it. That would make sense, since that just has an ability on it. Yeah, so apparently Audible... Yeah, I'm just trying to remember how some of it goes. Apparently Audible is set up now to... there's authors in the program that get a... there's money that's just allocated to a group of authors on Audible. This group then, everybody in there would get a share of that money based on like how many times their thing sold or was listened to. They're potentially changing it where right now it's like, oh, it's a curated number, but that might be changing where it would mean that it would be diluted how much money would be available to any individual author by suddenly increasing the pool but not increasing the money. But apparently it is also possible that that money can be sent to you, but because somebody bought or just listened to the book, but if they then return it saying, oh, I don't want this, then Amazon will try to take that money back. And it's like, I mean, yeah, sure, it's one thing if it's somebody bought it and then returned it and say, okay, well, I don't make the money on that. But it's no, they will actually be like, yeah, you owe us this. It's like, what? That's kind of silly. Especially because it is just something people will do as well, because there are not good people. Well, there are some people out there that are that selfish, I guess, way to put it. So yeah, but still, there are alternatives to Audible, which is good. I think if I were to do audiobooks, I would definitely investigate those most. Because it's also, I mean, I like ownership. Okay, I like that I can own my books. And it would be true for audiobooks as well. So it's like, I mean, I don't know if I could offer CDs, but I would even be tempted to, if I did audiobooks, to just let them be on CD.
You look like your arm's strong enough to hold a blade.
Because that way
The last few hopeless recruits. We're a mercenary company, the Bronze Lions. There's a lot of gold in this business. You think you got what it takes to be a Bronze Lion?
Hey.
Watch your mouth, for...
Sorry. I love being a bronze lion.
Yeah, I would even go with CDs, because like that way you have it's a physical medium that you would have the copy of the audio on, or whatever on there. It's like you are free to, if you want to rip that off and make an MP3, you can do that. FLAC, you can do it. AAC, you can do it. Opus, you can do it.
What is it? Spit it out, old man!
Well, sir, you conscripted Alistair last week against his will.
You accusing me of something? Everyone here fights for me because they want to. Isn't that right, men?
Sure is. Ain't nothing better than being a bronze lion boss.
Well,
Hey! Who do you
Whoops.
think you are? You reckon? No!
I was requesting, sir, that you release my boy back to me.
I just want to go home. Please help me. He's trying to force me to join his bandit troop.
Stranger! I told you to shut your mouth and wait your turn for an...
Please, my son ain't a fighter. Our family...
Men, throw the old codger in a cage. If Alistair tries to desert...
Ha! With pleasure.
Or what? Are you gonna... What? Who do you think you are, swine? Everyone, watch closely. This is what happens to fools who don't know their place.
I forgot that's what that ability was.
Dad, let's get you out of here.
Right. Okay. So yeah, now we just need to clear out the camp. But yeah, that I will say though, it is interesting to see people talking about AI and the use of AI in various artistic endeavors. Personally, for writing, I would never use AI short of like a super spell or grammar check. I don't, well, there's also research. I'm fine with AI being used for research to condense things. That, yeah, I see no issue with that. Using it as a super search engine. But how some people do use it to just ChatGPT, write me a story kind of stuff, and then they put that out. It's like, I mean, I understand the purpose of that there, but it's also, in some cases, you're seeing that used as a way so that, I'll stick what I got, as a way for people to just generate books very rapidly and then put them out there that to try to make some money, but it's from low quality work, and just is a get rich quick kind of silliness. It is actually very important that I got that, by the way. I need a little bit more for that, but yeah. But yeah, it's something that had been going on years ago, and Amazon put a stop to it, but unfortunately they also kind of overdid it. Is people would take things like off of Project Gutenberg, so public domain works, and then put them up on Amazon through KDP, and then charge like $1 for it. Which, even though the book is available for free, people would still do that. And it's like, you didn't write anything, you are potentially doing that in a day, and now you just have this revenue stream, even though it was, you did very little work. And there is also not the question of ethics when it comes to just taking public domain works or something you did not work on yourself. You are literally just profiting on somebody else's work. You didn't do typesetting, you didn't do any formatting, any translating, none of it.
Thank you. if
You saved my...
Onitas kidnapped so many local lads. I hope that now Onitas is dead, we can all go home without the Bronze Lions coming out. Still, I think I'll be looking...
May Zeus watch over him.
Thank you. I did not want...
Nice job. You really should.
Now this technically, as far as using somebody else's work, the ethics is a bit clearer there, but it still is low effort content. And yes, I'm sorry, but the idea that, oh, that's stealing from authors, it's like, part of how do I write? It's in part by knowing, by having read other people's writing. It's like, does that make it unethical? No, of course not. So the idea that AI that basically does the same thing is just reading various works and then being like, okay, so often when this word is written, the next word is this. It kind of, you know, complicates or at least defeats the claim. Yeah, that's probably gonna beat it. Although I can still do that. May even, you know, defeat the claim that it's theft in that way. I mean, that's just a fact about a lot of art. It's not to say that it's imitation, but a great deal of art is based on an artist looking at other people's works and taking inspiration from it. So the fact that it's done electronically, does that actually make a significant difference there? Because then it also becomes a question of, okay, because I use the term just electronically, what if, by the way, the sorting of this sucks. This is another thing that they really should address. As this game is in development. And I unfortunately just lost a little bit my train of thought. I know what the general point was, but what was that? What was the specific point I was building up to? I mean, yeah, it's all just is an element of inspiration with all of it from looking at oh yeah, that's right. With the electronic stuff, I mean, it's like I now have, thanks to purchasing books online, thanks to ebooks, you know, access to far more literature and far more authors than I would have had before, and that's thanks to electronics. Is that now unethical? It's like, no, of course not. And for anyone being like, oh, but you know, you're not paying the author, it's like, well, I also have a library card. I haven't used it for a long time, but I do have a library card. Where again, I'm not paying the author theirs, so it's... I am still something of a purist in that I would not be interested in reading a book that has been heavily generated, not curated by a human, not edited by a human, but... Let me try clearing out here first, then dealing with the ghosts there. But what some are potentially going to be doing to make audiobooks rapidly would be just ChatGPT, feed into KDP, have that then do the audiobook, and just, yeah. That does concern me. But it's also, at some point, you will just see people being like, you know what, no, I'm not going to do this, and cancel their Audible subscription, and just try to go with where they know the author is in fact real. Well, a human being, so. Okay. This I know I did. What am I... Okay, well, something will tie into that. Sure. I think I can get to the temple up there and beat it before an hour is out. And I don't mind going for an hour. I don't have as much time pressure on my weekend this weekend as I've had before, so it should be fine. No, didn't even see it there. That again. That up, so now 45 chance of a lightning strike, and I will have those I can spend on other things. It'll be neat. It will be neat. At least it should be. I am going by the fire one, but still. In theory, I can also... Okay, there. In theory, I should also be able to change it out. I'm liking the lightning, but I should be able to change it over to something else. What is another one? No, yeah, why don't we try that? And there's that, and also this. And by the way, I have no idea how this necessarily works, which is very annoying. Because, I mean, it's just... The weapon does lightning damage. I have the thing that is supposed to do 100% conversion to frost damage. Is that in fact 100% conversion as in I am only doing frost damage? Or is it... on top... I do not know. I genuinely do not know. Because the effect is still lightning. That's why I don't know. I think less on the other character, I had just already acquired that somehow. When I met them. No, I do. I'm pretty sure it's this way when I go. Just need to be here. And there should also be... I'm not sure where it is, but there should also be a portal, a waypoint around here. So there was... It finally froze, but that took a long time. Hang on. Ah, okay, yeah. Versus this, that 45% chance to do lightning strike. So that is likely just better. That's a more offensive ability.
My husband wanted to call the guard one more time, but then the Ichthians took him prisoner.
Damn fools. You again. Still looking for Glaukos, huh?
The old scholar from the bridge.
Glaukos' temple lies ahead. It's been decades since he's appeared, but people still come here. Now, some of those fools have got themselves captured by Ichthian.
No. Glaukos' temple, defiled by Ichthians.
No good has ever come from gods interfering in mortals' lives. Take your nemesis problem for example. Better if the goddess had never heard of you, don't you think?
By the way, at one point you pick up various pieces of a Klakos statue, but you need to find the base. It isn't here. It's actually like over here or something. I found that very annoying. Because even though I thought I had explored a lot of the map, it can actually be kind of hard to see. Like for some of this, there is just spots where especially when it's all, like you've gotten over here, and there's a little bit in the middle, it's hard to tell sometimes where you haven't been.
Help! Get me out of this cage. Oh, thank you. Priest, aye. Into the crypt beneath the shrine.
What about the head priest, Nicias?
I don't know.
The crypt was sealed off for a reason.
Man. Because, I mean, this looks like it... Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. That's fine. But man, that just... does seem like that should be very powerful. No, actually, I'm a little curious now. What happens if I actually use that on both? I don't know. But still, that does look pretty powerful, and I do want to point this out. Here. So I had this one already on the other one. But yeah, the Morais Index is just for special, unique weapons, so this is one of them. I'm gonna keep this out for a little bit because of the bonus to health regen, but I am gonna go right back to that. But I'm gonna go right back to the other thing because yeah. Back there. This is a lot better to me. I mean, seriously, look at that. How's it even a comparison? I'm gonna say you can do damage to how many enemies with one attack? No. It's and at range before they can get to you. There's no comparison. Range just devastates melee, which is kind of sad, but is what it is. Sad because it's like you would prefer. I would prefer definitely some amount of better balance between them. Well, it might be past now. We'll see. Yeah, I believe that that's going to be a very nice upgrade. Yep. So 29 there, but it's... So, basis for poison damage and lightning damage. I just increased it knowledge by 10. Right? But this, so that's 122. Is it just... Okay, so... Not very much there, but it's also, what is this? So is this multiplied by that? It would be nice if they just had brought back the DPS. That, like, let this all just be calculated out. So... I guess that must be it? I don't know. It is one of those things that it's like, hey, we're just gonna...
It can't be.
Throw so much stuff at you.
Here, careful. Aristino's spirit will never forgive me if something happens to you.
The relic's power. It's...
Somehow,
yourself, you
the
coward!
Titan Icar is holding the priestess captive.
Am I saying?
I fear she won't last much longer.
Deliver us!
I doubt any mortal is capable of holding that much energy for long.
I am no mere mortal. And it's like, no, seriously, I'm not. We get that at the end of the first act. But it's kind of obvious. Even beforehand. I mean, it's, you know. Which I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned that, since having finished the first act, which is the extent of the early access version of the game thus far, that it does kind of disappoint me that we don't have just you're just a random dude that right place, right time, right skills, but instead of they know you are a prophesied being, and it's like, I get it, but it's also, I do like the whole, no, you're just random dude who became a hero. And it's part of the reason why I think Spider-Man is actually the world's most famous superhero. It's not Superman, it's Spider. Or well, most famous and most beloved superhero is actually because he is just a dude that tries to do his best, is committed to it, but he suffers from it as well. He suffers because of that. So that's part of the reason why, when I watched through them, I really like Batman Beyond. And there's one thing that they ended up doing, though it wasn't Justice League Unlimited, that I really do not like. So that it is... So the premise to Batman Beyond is that, it's like so many decades into the future. Bruce Wayne has had to retire as Batman because he's too old and he's also become kind of nihilistic. Well, yeah, in that he lost hope in it being possible to really stop him. Stop all the bad guys. But then Terry McGinnis, a kid who's in some ways something of a screw up, still a good kid. A good guy, he just doesn't always make good decisions and gets in trouble. His father is killed, he ends up having to, feeling he must do something about it, finds Batcave and ends up taking the Batsuit and becoming the new Batman with Bruce Wayne's help.
I'm in my right mind again. How? Come.
But it very much still had that element of just a normal guy going through this stuff. Oh, okay. That's the thing. Okay.
Thank you. Who knew such an awful relic was buried beneath the shrine? How can I repay you? Everyone does. I can try to call on him, but...
That's the Iker. Absorb its power.
So, come on. It looks a lot like a heart, by the way, but anyhow. Yeah, and what's his name? The horse is like, why did you do that?
Are you trying to do Nemesis's job for her? Do you even know what Titan Iker is? It's the blood of a fallen Titan. It created the Furies and the Giants. Do you feel any different? Horns growing out of your skull, an uncontrollable hunger for blood. Anything. Oh gods, just as I feared. Wait, what did you say? Remarkable. You absorbed the Iker. Aristano always said you were special. I'm beginning to think she was right.
Yeah, in Justice League Unlimited, it is revealed that he is through some weird genetic stuff that... Oh crap, I don't remember what her name was now. But Terry McGinnis is in fact Bruce Wayne's biological son, just... It's weird, convoluted, and I hate it, because it's like, no, let Terry just be Terry. He doesn't need... He should be the successor to Bruce Wayne because he proved it. The successor to Batman because he proved himself. Not because he, by messed up medicine, is in fact his heir. It's like... Yeah. Don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of place for stories that are, I'll do that. I will do that, actually. That are about, basically, the Chosen One. Which, in keeping the superheroes for the moment, that Superman is in some ways that.
Do that.
Okay, that one. But now I'm full. That's fine. Yeah, in some ways, Superman is that. Because there is that difference of one inspires you to what is possible, one reminds you about characteristics that you should already have, and they should still try to fulfill them.
From your ancient enemies and bring...
Like what you can do and the reason why you do them, personified in two different types of heroes.
I'm sorry. This silence you hear has greeted me every morning.
So it's true.
There may be someone. The head priest, Nicias, left a short while ago, seeking the god Pan's assistance. You saw the state of the shrine, of the farmlands. We need a god's protection.
This dude objected to that, because, like, how can you possibly go to Pan?
Nicias gave me the passphrase for Pan's vineyard, in case I wanted to follow. Triptolemus trips on Castor's canny cantrips. It's a mouthful, I know, but that's Pan for you. The vineyard is northeast of here. I hope...
Faithful Nicias.
And by northeast, yeah, it is... like all the way over there. There's a lot to do before that.
Seeking Glaucus for an untrustworthy god like Pan. I can't believe it.
You never put much faith in Glaucus yourself.
Still, I'll never be so foolish as to worship Pan. Someone has to talk sense into Nicias.
Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. It's my duty to serve.
I don't feel like talking to... I'm pretty sure talking to it just like gets you a little bit more about Glaucus, and it's... I don't feel the need for it at the moment, especially because it is past an hour. There is one thing I want to do first.
He does have the look of the gods about him.
Thank you. We'll be moving on to the Enclave now, but...
Alright.
we'll never forget...
So I needed the Molly route, but I also needed the... Oh wait, Yeah, no, that flower I also needed. The one that I found in the bronze lion den thing. The mercenary den. Let me... Come on. Let me talk to this person. I'm not sure I might have enough.
You don't have enough yet.
Okay. That's fine. Then I'm just going to stow the thing and take care of this one last mission. Which isn't... It's not a long one. In fact, I already walked most of the way there.
Keep your need something stored?
Yeah, it's just down here. Yeah, that's actually probably going to be the fastest. Oh, hang on. I just remembered one thing I do also want to mention, just so people are aware of it. When you kill a boss and it drops something that you can then use to resurrect at that shrine that I showed at the beginning and talked about the leveling, how you can re-level the enemies and all that. For one thing, it costs money to revitalize the bosses. That I disagree with. Just say, no, you beat them, you got the drop. Well, you always give them the drop, but you got that to be able to fight them again. It shouldn't have to charge you to fight them again. But it revitalizes all of the bosses at the same time. It's not a, like, oh, I want this one revitalized, I'll go and fight. I want this one revitalized. Nope, it's all.
Go away. I'm warning you.
Yes, I am now a goat. But don't worry.
My magic? How did you... Wait, please don't hurt me. Before you judge, listen. Mortals. Trespassers. Thought they could steal from me. They don't deserve your pity. When the floods came, I protected them. But one of them, a beautiful man with skin like an olive tree, betrayed me. He defiled my grove, stealing my sacred lily, and ran off into the night. Now, none of them may leave. Let them bleat like the greedy little goats they are. I was innocent. I was kind and welcoming. I opened my arms and my grove. No, never again. Why should I trust another mortal? Your tongues only know how to speak lies. But, yes, if I had my lily back, I suppose I could lift my spell on these others. You found it, and you returned it. I'm sorry, perhaps I was too quick to judge all mortals. And what about the thief? What happened to him? That's a shame. He was so beautiful. Who knew beauty could be so treacherous? You kept your word, so I will keep mine.
Yeah.
My pets, you are free. Thank your friend here.
And I got an extra passive point. That's nice. Because once I hit that, I will use them. Oh, I forgot. I do in fact have that. Do that. I'm really hoping that that does in fact work off of the other attack, these basic attacks, primary attacks. Alright, so still got 2. What do I want to spend? I don't know what it means by barrier to cave vegetables, by the way. Yeah, sure. Especially... I think that's what I'm gonna want. Yeah, just a generic flat increase to damage is probably gonna be handy. Alright, and with that... Oh, hang on. Let's talk to
Strange. I can hardly remember being human. Started to feel like I'd been a goat my whole...
You're back. Is there something you would...
Don't need to worry about talking to her. Want to end it. But one thing I do want to mention, because she is...
You're back.
A spirit of the river that's... I think more of a English translation of what she is. Because in Greco-Roman mythology, there are the Titans. Like the Icarus, the blood of the Titans, that whole thing. The Olympians are themselves Titans. Just specific generation that they ruled from Mount Olympus. But it's also... There are still gods. A naiad, which she is, Spirit of the River, that's a naiad, is a god. But it is a lesser form of deity than a Titan is. So they are separate things, Titan and god, in Greco-Roman mythology. But it's just, I do feel like pointing that out because... Is Zeus a god? By our use of the word, yes. But by the more traditional mythological use, no. He's a Titan. And a lot more powerful. Like, that's also one thing when I read the Iliad, it's like, Zeus is freaking powerful. Because there's a line in it, that's true. Power levels probably change depending where you are, happens in various other things as well. But he describes, when basically talking to all the other Olympians and Titans that want to interfere in the Trojan War in a specific way, he points out, no. And remember, if you want to try, I am so strong that if a chain were lowered from here to Earth and to like have the weight of the Earth, and all of you pulled on it, I would still be able to lift it all up. Right? That's how freaking powerful he is. And it's like, oh, did not know that. That stuck with me. I read that a year or two ago. I mean, it's been quite a while. It's like, oh, I thought that there was greater parity amongst the Olympians. Nope, apparently not quite so much. Yeah, so anyway, see you next time.